Hey, I'm Shaun.
And I'm Whit, and this is real shit.
We gonna talk that shit, y'all.
Hey.
We gonna talk that shit.
So, today's topic, y'all, we talking a little bit about loyalty. So, I had this situation where me and my homeboy were like, we kick it all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's my friend. So, and not no friend, like homeboy. So, I noticed that when I say certain things, it tends to get back to the person that I was talking about. And I know, things can be like, okay, you shouldn't be talking about people, da 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 da. And at times, I try not to. You know what I'm saying? But it makes, like, okay, I get to talk my shit from time to time. Okay?
Yeah, as we all do. Yeah, nobody can act high and mighty because of...
And sometimes I could be just venting because he's around me 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I felt comfortable enough to confide in him as a friend.
Right.
It's not like I'm trying to go run around and talk shit. It's like, I'm just, like, confiding in my friend.
Right.
So, I noticed that it gets back to people. So, I feel like he's throwing me under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
So, I had this conversation with him, and I'm telling him, like, yo, it's not cool. Please don't do that. And if you feel like you need to do that, don't be around me.
Mm-hmm.
So I've even been real cautious about what I say around him.
And you shouldn't have to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was making me kind of feeling crazy, like a little paranoid. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I know people are like, well, why don't you just leave him alone? But it's been hard because we have been kicking it for so long. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like we have built a friendship bond. So it's hard for me to just say, F him.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the dilemma about it. But I did speak my piece and told him that I was not feeling that. You know what I'm saying? And I also asked him, like, why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it was just real awkward. Like, that whole loyalty thing is real. It's like, I want people that I feel like I could have a bad day around and they not judge me or try to crucify me.
How old is he again?
28.
He's 28?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or try to crucify me for, having a bad day.
Right.
So, I don't know, y'all. Let us know.
I gotta ask you guys, what is loyalty to you guys? Like, what does that mean? Because to me, loyalty means trust and honesty and to be able to confide in the person.
Right.
And like this example of not have it run down south or whatever, like run your mouth everywhere else. So, and I feel like if you're missing loyalty, if you're missing that trust, if you're missing that from somebody, then clearly you're not really as close as you think you are, because you have to have that trust, you have to have that loyalty with each other.
Exactly. So that's how I was feeling like for a while. I did cut him off for a little while, and then I end up, giving in. But yeah, it's just been hard. It's been hard to decipher who's who lately or whatever. It's like I'm not trusting myself.
Yeah.
So what is good now is that I am seeing what's wrong. It's like I'm not in the dark about it, because I feel like it was a time where I was like in the dark about it. But now that it comes to light, it's like
right.
Really?
Because you do have those other people that you trust, that are loyal to you, that do come back and say, hey, this is what's happening. This person is saying this. I don't know if you want that to be told.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah. So, it was hurtful, but at the same time, it's like a lesson learned too. You know what I'm saying? But this is hard. It's hard.
Yeah. And I really don't feel like for a friend you should be skirting around somebody.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be sitting here being all like, let me just censor what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like, who has time for that? Like, it almost drives you crazy, because it's like, I don't have time to censor what I'm about to say all the time. Like, who does that?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and then you brought up the age difference thing, like, because he is younger than me. He's 28, I'm 40.
Mm-hmm.
So that I was throwing into play like, okay, well maybe that's what it is, okay, because you know, when I was young, I had a lot of growing up to do too.
Right.
So yeah, sometimes that plays in the factor too, where it's like, okay, I'm going to be the mature one, but is it fair to always be the mature one?
I mean, I understand that we all have our faults, and I understand that we all kind of sometimes go off the rear a little bit, but I don't think age is something that should be a factor into it in this case, because I feel like at a young age, we're taught how to be a friend. Right. We're taught how to keep secrets. We're taught how to talk to people. We're taught how to basically maneuver through society. So I feel like age in this matter, especially being the age that they are, it should not be a factor in being able to not tell a secret to somebody else.
Yeah,
like,
because
one
thing about me, like, I remember when I was young. Like, I do. I remember when I was young. I remember the things I went through, all of that. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, I'm not as hard on younger people, I guess, as some older people maybe or whatever. Because I remember when I was young. You feel what I'm saying? So, I understand, like, I've been here longer, so I'm going to experience some things a little bit more. You feel what I'm saying? So, I try to give the experiences that I've been through. I try to give that to people to try to help them. Maybe that could help them, maybe it don't, I don't know. But that's all I can do. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but at the end of the day, I'm still human. I still have feelings. I still have emotions. Like, I feel like it's not fair to like X out my feelings because I'm older.
Right. And as much as I love that mindset as from like young one person to another, as much as I love that mindset where you sit there and you don't, like, you're like, oh, well, she's young, she doesn't understand or whatever. And sometimes that may be the case. Yeah. But because of that mindset, we leave that prejudice for younger people to have that where they don't have to be accountable for their actions. And so they sit there and they think like, oh, I'm young, I don't have to do it. I don't. It's like, no, like, just because you're young doesn't mean you don't have common sense. Yeah. Like, it's knowledge. Like, you're sitting here and you're like, oh, so and so said this. Yeah. And you don't want that person that you're telling that person to, that person that you're confiding into, that person that you are having that intimate moment, that conversation with, that you wouldn't tell other people. Yeah. You wouldn't want them to sit there and go off and tell this, that, and to their mama or whoever. Like, you don't want that. Right. No.
And I'm definitely guilty too. Like, I cannot sit here and say I haven't done things like that, especially with my mom and probably father and stuff like that. Where you feel like because they're older, they have all the answers. You feel what I'm saying? So I've been on that spectrum too, but it's hard being on the other end, should I say? You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's hard being on the other end. So yeah, maybe that comes with the age. I don't know. I guess so. So
you're a lot more lax than I am. Me personally, like, you're a lot more like forgive and forget. Just whatever. I personally, if you cross me, you cross me. End of story. Like, I mean, of course, time and development and depending on the relationship, that may be a factor in it as well. But I mean, like, if you sit there and you talk shit or whatever, or I tell you shit and you talk shit, cut it out. Like, like, you're not. I'm sorry. Like, you're not a friend as I thought you were. Yeah. That's how I think of it. Like, we're not friends, clearly, because you don't respect what I tell you. You don't respect me enough to not tell somebody else. Yeah. Like, that's loyalty. You lost my trust, and trust is a huge factor for me when it comes to relationships, because I don't trust people as much as people probably think I do, because I share a lot, but I don't trust people.
Yeah. And that I understand. But I think in that situation, I took some accountability too. It made me take some accountability too in what I was doing. So at the end of the day, I took some accountability, and it was like a lesson learned. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, You know, I feel like I was mad too at the end of the day too. But I feel like our friendship is a little stronger than that. And, you know, there were some apologies, not to my very much to my liking like that, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? I'll take the apology. But it did leave a mark. You know, like, you know how, like, when people show you who they are, it's like you have to listen. You feel what I'm saying? Unfortunately, like, you just do.
Now you see who they are right now.
Yeah. So it's like, So it's like, that's where I'm at with it right now. So, yeah. But loyalty is a motherfucker, should I say. And it's hard to trust people, and it's hard to trust intuition sometimes, because like that's what I'm getting used to now, trying to trust my intuition. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I don't trust anybody. That's my intuition.
Yeah,
like trust nobody.
Healthy? Like I want a healthy balance. Like nobody's perfect. And, you know, like I said, I have done mistakes too. I have been messy before. Sorry to say. So I get it. But if it keeps happening, then that's when I feel like that's where the problem is going to lie. You feel what I'm saying?
But, so, like, this is like a one strike type of moment?
I would say two.
This is the second strike?
The first one was just kind of petty. But the second strike, you know, was like, okay. So, yeah. It's like, okay, there it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, boop, there it is. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, there you go.
I knew I wasn't trapping.
There you go. Here's the second reason. Because you didn't listen to the first time.
Yeah.
Now you're going to get a third reason, and then it's like, well.
Exactly. So that's what it is, y'all. So thanks for listening to my story.
Moral of the story, trust nobody.
Yeah.
Everybody that is close to you is dead to you now.
Y'all don't go that extreme, guys. Like,
nobody is to be trusted. Don't even trust us, okay? Nobody is to be trusted.
And be careful.
And be careful.
That's all. So, thanks, y'all. This has been real shit. See y'all later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's on.
Oh shit. So pause it. Cause what did I say? What did I say?
Oh.
I said.
Shit.